Hi YouTube, this is Carrie and this is my first YouTube video. We are starting our third round of IVF and I have been watching everybody's videos on YouTube and they've been really helpful to me. So I thought, well, this go around I will do a video blog and tell our story. So we're just going to back up and tell y'all kind of how we got to this point. We have been trying to conceive now for 6.5 years. We are dealing with secondary infertility, so we really weren't expecting any problems and did not go to a specialist nearly as early as we should have. We just kept thinking it would happen. We tried off and on, more serious some years than others. And then in 2011, after I hit 35, we decided, okay, it's time to get some help. We went to the gynecologist and she did Clomid. So we did 4 months of Clomid. We did 50 milligrams the first month and I didn't ovulate, only 50. So the next 3 months after that, we did 150. Every month showed ovulation. Of course, before we did the Clomid cycle, she had us do the sperm analysis and the SHG, and everything looked good. So we just thought the Clomid would work. My progesterone was low, so they were giving me prometrium as well as the Clomid. So after 4 months of that, we decided to just kind of take a break from that for a while, and they just kept me on progesterone during the luteal phase of my cycles for the rest of 2011. We did that for the beginning of 2012. Then we decided, okay, it's time to go back to her and see what our next step is. So I went back to my OBGYN, and she said that she would go ahead and refer us to an RE. And we don't have one where we live, so the closest was a couple hours away. So we went to the RE in the fall of 2012, and the RE seemed to think that it was going to be okay, should be easy. I had just had FSH and LH drawn on a cycle day 3, and my FSH had come back at 8, and he said, okay, no problems. The HSG showed that your tubes are open. The sperm analysis is great. We're just going to get you to ovulate, some more eggs, and we'll be good. So the plan was to start on a Clomid and injectable combination, and then just do timed intercourse and just monitor it. So we were supposed to start that December of 2012. So we waited for my cycle to start, and we went in for my cycle day 3. They wanted to do an ultrasound and do some more blood work. When I got in there for the ultrasound, the nurse said that she could only see 3 follicles on my left. She said there was 0 follicles on my right. She thought she was seeing 3 or 4 large endometriomas. And she said it looked like I had hydrosalpinx or fluid in my tubes on both sides. So the doctor met me out in the hallway, and he said that based on the results of the ultrasound, that my cycle was going to be canceled. They were going to get some blood work back and then let me know what the plan was from there. So they called me back the next day and said that my FSH was 31 and that they really couldn't proceed, that they weren't going to do the timed intercourse, the IUIs, or anything. So I went ahead and went back to my OBGYN and asked about doing a lap procedure to look for the endometriosis, since they did find the 3 or 4 endometriomas. Now, I had a surgery 12 years ago to look for endometriosis. I had had pelvic pain since high school, severe at times. I ended up going gluten-free a few years ago, and that has helped some. So 12 years ago, they did my first lap, and the doctor who did the lap talked to my husband and my mother after the surgery. It said that he had found some scar tissue and had cleaned it out, but that my appendix was flared up or inflamed, and so he had to remove my appendix. He did not say that he saw any endometriosis, so we had always assumed that endometriosis had been ruled out. Now, 6 years ago, when we started trying to conceive, I was still having the pelvic pain at the time, and my OB then, 6 years ago, recommended doing a complete hysterectomy. We were like, oh no, we want, children, we don't want to go that route. So, although she had suggested a hysterectomy because of the pain, she never suggested doing another lap and looking again. And for 12 years, we just thought that the endometriosis was ruled out and that wasn't a possibility. So it kind of just threw us. So December 22nd, I went in and had my second lap, and they found severe, extensive endometriosis. They said it was everywhere and that they had to remove both tubes, that both tubes were completely useless. They said there was no way they could function and there was no way to save them, and that my best chance of having a child would be through IVF, but that if they had left the tubes in, then that could have caused me to miscarry or have problems with the IVF. So from the beginning of December, we thought we were going to have Clomid and low dose injectables and timed intercourse, and then 3 weeks later, I have no tubes, and IVF is now our only option. So we found a new RE, because the RE that she had sent us to had very, very low rates when I looked them up of success with women in my age category. So we found another doctor. It's farther away. It's about 4 hours away to the clinic. But I called, right after my surgery, a day or two after, and they actually got me in December 22nd for my consult. So we went there on the 27th. We saw the new doctor. We absolutely loved him, loved the staff. Because I had a chemical pregnancy in 2011, he went ahead and ran miscarriage panels and immune testing because I have an autoimmune disease. I have psoriatic arthritis, and also the endometriosis is immune. So we did the immune panel. So that was basically our story of how we got to IVF. I'm going to do another video and tell you about our first IVF attempt that we did in January of 2013. But so these don't get too long, I'm going to keep my videos separated. So just comment below if you have any questions for me, and good luck in your cycle.